Hi everybody, this is Ashley Jones. In this video I'm going to show you how to remove overlapping stitches for an applique. Sometimes we have satin stitches that overlap one another where an applique piece meets another applique piece, so we want to remove that. So I specifically had a request for using My Quilt Embellisher and one of the built-in blocks, so I'm going to do this, but this actually works in other applique instances as well. So I'm inside of My Quilt Embellisher. This will work in My Quilt Embellisher or Perfect Embroidery Pro. I'm going to select a block and then make it the size that I want. In this case, I'm just going to use 4 inches. And then zoom back in, and then I'm going to click right here to turn it into an applique. So boom, got a cute little quilt block that is all applique pieces. So now in this block we have 3 applique pieces and they overlap one another. So we want to remove those overlapping stitches. So what I'm going to do over here in my sequence view, so I've clicked my sequence view tab down here at the bottom, and I'm going to start with the blue triangle. So I'm going to hide the white and the pink one just so I can work with this one straight edge here. So now what I need to do is I'm going to open this up and I can see that it's an applique. In Dime software, when it says applique, it's going to give you the placement stitch and the tack down stitch when you save it as a machine file format. Right now, it sees it as an applique, which in the minds of the software, it's all 3 parts. So I'm going to right mouse click and say break up path so I can see those separate pieces. So there's my placement, tack down, and the finishing stitch, which in this case is the satin stitch, and we need to remove that edge. So I'm just going to select the last one, which is the satin stitch or the finishing stitch. I'm going to go over here to the top left and I'm going to choose my shape tool. Now I'm going to click one time on this point and then right mouse click to split this line. Do the same thing down here. I'm going to click one time to select it, and then I'm going to right mouse click and click split line. That separates this one line from the other 2. So now if I go back to my select tool, I can select just this one satin stitch. Make sure you do have that satin stitch and click, you can do the cut option here, or you can press delete on your keyboard and that'll remove it. So pretty easy, right? Okay, so let's do the other pieces. So if I hide, unhide actually the other 2 pieces, we can see that we've got the pink overlapping the white here, so we need to remove the white underneath this edge. So now what I'm going to do, let's hide the pink again, and same thing with this one. I'm going to open this up, click on the word applique, right mouse click then, and say break up path. That'll separate out my placement, tack down, and that finishing stitch. So select the finishing stitch, which is the applique, that's the satin stitch. Go over and choose your shape tool and then click one time on this point that you want to split, then do a right mouse click, split. Make sure you're clicking and right clicking right on top of the point. When you right click other places, you get a different menu. So click and then right click, split line. Now back to my select tool. I can select and press the delete on my keyboard, or either cut here to remove that. So now just need to turn on my pink square. There we go. So now if we watch this slow redraw, we're going to get placement and tack down, and then the edge will be finished with that satin stitch, then placement and tack down for the next triangle, and then those 2 edges will have the satin stitch, and then our last one will finish everything up, placement, tack down, and finishing. So there you go. Hopefully that helps with your removing satin stitch overlap.